Shay here with a special announcement about this episode of Bombers. As a special treat to all of you who have so devotedly listened over the years, we've decided to include our pre-show and post-show preparations and post-mortems of the podcast that you are going to listen to as the core of the episode. Normally, this is only available to paid Patreons or paid patrons or whatever it's called, but this time, it's a special treat for everybody. So I hope you enjoy it, and if you don't care, well, skip to like 12 minutes from now.
All right, here we are.
Well, here we are again.
Oh, are you just making the IGN game of all time something something your something bomb
Yes.
something? And Shay's just apparently given up.
Yeah, I don't have time to come up with another story.
I mean, nothing has really happened.
The Reggie thing is kind of good.
Do you have quotes on that? Because that's pretty funny.
I pulled up the quotes.
Okay, good.
That he had here.
I have a lot of thoughts on this, so
I think it's pretty funny. I think we can get a good solid 5 minutes out of that easily. Bless you. I actually have a lot for miniature recap this week, weirdly enough.
I just have one thing, and it's Cookie Clicker, MF.
I see that.
Look at you actually having time to play games.
Well, it's Cookie Clicker, so...
Cookie Clicker takes all of the time, just to be clear. It takes up all of the time available.
That's good. Honestly, Zyber, that was going to be part of the intro line. I was going to do something like, yes, that's right, welcome to the Bombers, the only podcast that revolves your leaf blowers while you idle. Figured you'd appreciate that.
I appreciate any jokes about idle. Oh no, my cookie production has been halved for 15 minutes. Oh, you
Why?
bastards.
Well, that's the way the cookie crumbles.
That's a terrible joke. You should feel bad about that.
I'm just happy that this is actually being recorded.
The joke. Now everybody can, well, all of our friends can tell you it's a terrible joke.
Nobody enjoyed it, so that's fine.
Yeah, I don't really... Are you doing another ghost?
Yep, I got it right here. It's orange cream. This is the last ghost, but I do have other energy drinks, and I'm going to exclusively reveal this to friends of the show. There's a Skittles flavored one.
Ooh.
There is a
still all ghosts?
no.
Or is this
let me just go get. Let me
new...
go get them because I actually can't remember what they are. Hold on.
All right.
Like, what kind of Skittles? Just all 5 or 6
all
flavors?
Skittles, original. So like, it tastes like all of them.
I mean, all of the most Skittles are all like the same flavor. Like the color just makes you think that they taste different.
You are definitely wrong.
All right, so I got a Skittles one. Yeah, it just says Skittles. It's a G4 or C4. Wait, what is this? Yeah, C4.
Explosive Skittles.
I guess.
Now, does it have the original lime Skittle or is it green apple?
It says original Skittles. I'm not
Probably
really
green
sure
apple.
what that means, but keep your ears open for that if you're listening to podcasts here in the coming weeks. And then here I have G Fuel, which is a sour cherry, and that's a Gatorade brand. And then here's another G Fuel, which is this one I'm really scared of. It's called Hype Sauce, which
I would not touch that with a 10-foot pole, let alone.
I'm very afraid. I'm very, very afraid. It's like kind of purple. I don't know if you can see the can. I need to get my light situation going, but
Dang,
you
that's
see
a
that
good
there?
color, though.
No, I mean that is a good looking can. Though.
Yeah,
It
I just
looks
don't
like
the
a
name of it.
Yeah, the name is bad, but the can is good. So I guess it evens out. You should drink it eventually.
Yeah, I kind of wish I could just do it now and get it out of the way because like these other ones, the Skittles one could be just atrocious, but I guess we'll find out.
Tastes like all the flavors of the rainbow.
Taste the rainbow.
I am wearing
I got
green and orange today because
you're representing all of Ireland.
Yes, I believe in the freedom of Northern Ireland as well as the religious freedom of regular Ireland, the Republic of Ireland and the regular Ireland.
See, I was wearing orange earlier, and then I switched to green now, so I'm like not doing it at the same time. I'm swapping it out.
So
The
you
only
switch
green
sides. Is what you're saying.
clothing I have is a chocolate made me do it running shirt.
Are you wearing it?
No.
Pinch it.
I mean, I could be wearing green for all
No.
I know. I don't know.
I don't want to pinch anyone.
I ended up buying a new record player, vinyl spinner.
The old vinyl
bands were-
circle.
Yeah, the the old one, my bands on it had worn out, where it played things just slow enough that everything was off and the pitch was
I
bad.
love that though.
I hated it.
What?
It drove me
What do you
crazy.
mean you love that? That's awful. It's the worst thing
I was
ever. Why would you
listening
want that?
to my
So
Death of the Bachelor album record while cooking today.
So I set this one up, but I haven't actually spun anything on it yet, so I'm hoping it's good. But it freed up. This one is so much smaller than that old one, because that old one was older than I am.
That thing was giant, dude. That thing was like taking up a whole corner of the room.
As
Yeah,
it should.
was. I mean, it was. I think it was my parents' wedding gift. So, I think it was the fact that the bands on that lasted as long as they did was impressive.
Wedding bands, am I right?
Hey, but that freed up. I mean, you can see.
Oh god, I forgot we're
Before-
recording. Oh, this is my reputation is ruined.
Before, remember, like you in my camera, you could see it back here.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did not.
Well, you could before, and now it's not. It's not like that anymore.
Where'd your bomb lamp go?
I had to move it because I need to charge it.
Oh.
Yep.
So you guys know that my stove takes
I don't know.
over half a freaking hour to boil water in a pot.
That you,
It's ridiculous. I'm just now getting
I
my
mean,
tortellini.
like, how big of a pot of water?
Enough to boil a regular thing of tortellini.
Like a single pound of pasta?
Yeah.
That should not take half an hour.
It took
Tell you-
over half an hour, and then the pasta
I-
cooks for 2 minutes, and it's done.
That's I'm assuming an electric stove top.
Oh yeah,
Then.
I absolutely.
Yeah,
I
that's
hate electric stoves so
Freaking
much.
hate electric stove top. As much as I'm terrified that my stove and oven will blow up my house one day, rather have gas than electric.
That's good.
I have gas.
For your cooking, or just like, are you?
I
sharing-
ate a lot of cheese, so.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Are we ready to start this thing? Or do
Yeah,
we
I
have-
honestly got nothing.
Yeah, I'm going to
is-
Joe Russo's Almost Dead tonight, so that's going to be a good time. But I just wanted to, get a little podcast in before, and then go hang out.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna head over to Rumor's place for some corned beef.
I'm gonna kill Chaos.
What?
I don't know
With
what
my
that means,
wife.
but it sounds like a good time. It sounds like a party.
Playing some more.
We gotta kill Chaos.
How far down? Okay. I was just tracking where we were on the best video
We're
game of
two
all time bracket.
rounds in, right? Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't do one without me.
No, we couldn't do one without you.
Yeah,
I
you
don't know where to find
possibly
the
tie.
article.
Everything would be a tie, and we'd kill each other.
I have it. Don't worry.
By the way, welcome back from the dead, Zyber. Nice to have you.
Thank you. Maybe I'll die again soon. Actually, I will in 2 weeks. So. No wait,
Oh, wow.
no wait. Never mind. We don't record on
Whoa.
Fridays anymore.
What a roller coaster ride this
Yeah.
is. I know there
my
is
emotions are being toyed
there
with.
is some Thursday in the future that I won't be able to do them, but I can't. It's like in the relatively far future, like we're talking like a month or two. So I just need.
I
to
mean,
Well, and then
when I go to
long
your
as we
place, I
have-
won't be able to.
as
well,
long as we have enough of a warning, we can also just record on a different day,
or bring on a guest.
As long as or bring on a guest.
Like-
but as long as there's warning, it's not like the Zyber thing kind of sucked because it was day of.
Well, but that also was unplanned too. It wasn't.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It was day of unplanned.
Next time, I'll just ask Haley to replace me.
I'd be down.
Sure.
All right, let's do.
All right, we doing this
yeah,
whole
let's do
episode?
a podcast.
All right, let me sit up straight so I can enunciate. I don't think that's not how words
Enunciate?
work. I want to announce you're eating some
I'm gonna
tortellini.
turn the light on.
What? I like the aesthetic.
All right, I'll leave it off then.
Good.
I'm back. All right. You know what? I'm going to go pee because I think if I don't, there's a very good chance I'm going to pee during the podcast.
But we missed that happening.
Well,
Nah, I'm fine with that not happening
All
to the pod. But instead, just go pee during the podcast, but don't stop recording and leave.
well, but then I can't say anything.
We can still hear you now.
Take the. Well, I guess it's probably not a laptop.
He just needs a really long mic cable.
This part is going to be real fun on the pre-show.
Just eating tortellini, guys.
Just Zyber eating tortellini. Shay's gone, and I'm
preparing my weapons to kill chaos.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Final Fantasy Stranger Paradise.
Oh,
Every time I go in the bathroom, my cat follows me and like sits on my feet.
that's what cats do.
Oh man, I
very
was
weird.
playing VR at a friend's house and her cat ignored me completely until I started playing VR.
And then you kicked the cat. You're a monster.
No,
Then
the
your
cat
friend
just
sat
laid
on
on
your
top
feet.
of my foot.
Monster.
Cat is a monster. All right, let's podcast.
Are we doing that?
Podcast.
Yeah, you ready? You guys ready?
I moved my mouse over. I was like, okay, I'm ready to start recording. Oh wait, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we're already recording.
Pre-show.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah, neat.
All right. If you're ready, we'll go ahead and get started.
Sure.
And I realized I don't need to count down because we actually already counted down.
3,
So,
2,
we should
1.
already be-
Clap.
I mean, it should be synced unless you want to. Well,
No.
just I don't know how you edit. Whatever.
Yeah, let's just start. We'll just start. The only podcast that clicks cookies while you wait. This is Bombers.
Hi, welcome to the only podcast that idles your leaf blower while you revolve. Or I forgot what I was supposed to say for the funny joke for the follow-up joke. I'm Bomber number 5, Anthony, aka Deg, joined today by recently resurrected Bomber number 3, Zyber, aka Zyber.
So I'm pretty sure we revolve their leaf blowers while they're idle.
Yeah, something like that. And Bomber number 1, Shay, aka Spiegel.
There is a cemetery fairly close to my house that I drive by a lot, and I always make the joke because I can't think of a worse name for a cemetery than the Resurrection Cemetery. Like, I just feel like you don't want your dead people coming back most of the time. Like, in most circumstances, you would prefer that they stayed dead.
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that would wish they would resurrect, actually.
Well, to be like
probably-
health, like, but I don't want like people climbing up out of the ground and like, you know, that's kind of freaky.
There's a lot of like religious stuff with like rapture and whatnot where the dead are supposed to come back or something like that. I don't know.
I'm aware of rapture, and I'm aware that resurrection is in reference to, you know, the resurrection of Jesus Christ and everything. But at the same time, I just feel like it's a bad omen to name your cemetery the Resurrection Cemetery.
I would hate to go to Rapture. It's a creepy underwater city.
A man has a choice.
In any other cemetery. Bury me in Rapture, actually. I'll take a burial, let's see. Which is the name of the DLC for Bioshock Infinite.
A man has a choice. I chose the Bombtastic News.
Excuse me.
What?
Anyway, Shay, do you got any...
Do the. Oh, you know what?
Drinks.
Yeah. I was gonna say let's do Bombtastic News first, but then I realized that this was actually supposed to be first. I have a ghost. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the final ghost, and I have more energy drinks coming up. If you listen to the pre-show,
It's resurrected.
it's if you have a
The ghost is resurrected.
if you're currently supporting us on Patreon, you can listen to the pre-show where I tease out some additional energy drinks that we will be consuming, or that I will be consuming over the coming weeks. But I'm going to a concert tonight, and you know what that means? I'm going to need 200 milligrams of Carnipure Carnitine, and this is the Orange Cream Ghost, the last ghost. And I'm going to crack this bad boy open.
And by the end of the...
I like orange cream.
At the end of the concert, you'll be like, ugh, I'm getting too old for going to shows. So, call back to last week. Go listen to last week's episode again, and then come back for Shay to drink.
Just don't throw up dreamsicles at the concert.
It doesn't really smell like a creamsicle. It's more like a... Well, maybe. It's kind of weak, though. It's a weak smell. Let's give it a shot.
Really sad. Orange cream should be like an extremely strong flavor.
It should be creamy and orange.
I
don't like that face.
It's not looking good here.
Yeah, that's
folks.
not. That's not
rare
tremendous.
miss?
That's a miss for Ghost. I feel like that's it's not bad, but it's just not. It doesn't give me the orange cream flavor that I really wanted. It's a little more on the tart side and a little less on the sweet side, and I would prefer an orange cream to be a little sweeter.
Yeah, because the cream should take the tart off.
Yeah, it's a little more energy drinky than the other ones, which I think you can tell primarily because they were going for a sweeter flavor, and that's kind of masked by the energy drinkness of it. So I'd give it a passing grade, but no more than that. Like if you like orange cream, check it out. But no, this isn't super great.
I love your review though. It reminds me of like a baking show when they explain what they did wrong with the cookie or cake or whatever.
Well, see, if I take we open the oven here, we can see that the orange cream is already complete. Just for the sake of the TV audience, and we're gonna go ahead and take a sip. Oh, that's so good.
This other one is better. I had a couple weeks ago. I had a like orange cream stout type of thing.
A what?
It was like it was interesting. It was
a stout.
Yeah. Well, no, maybe it wasn't orange cream. I think it might have been just vanilla cream. It was basically cream soda but beer. Anyways, how's the bombastic news going, Cyber?
You're just making me want to go get some framboise. I haven't had that
framboise
in like, oh gosh, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a couple years, I think, since I last had a lambic. Actually.
Yes. So, bombastic news, everyone's favorite segment of the episodes. Let's see. Did you know that we recently got a website?
Yes, I've listened to every episode this season.
Is that really recent?
Yeah, it's recent. I mean, it's this year. That's recent.
Subjective to people's times. To me, it's recent. To a kid, it might be all like, "Oh, that's so old. That was like 2 months ago."
That was like a whole lifetime ago, man. Oh my god! Like I work with all these Zoomers now, and they're all using words. They're all using words like bet and dope, and I don't understand what any of these words mean.
Dope has been around for a long time.
I use dope as a bad example because I couldn't think of the other words that they were using, but they did use the word dope today. And I'm like, dude, I totally know what that word means.
Hey,
it means smack. It means hash. It means hemp. It means ganja. Yeah, dope salesman.
No.
I go talk to my dope dealer.
I don't know. Like, I still absolutely love the word yeet, and that quickly got into my actual vocabulary.
Yeet's pretty good.
Yeet, I remember as a question that was on Bomber's Notebook a while back, where it's like, if you could yeet one game out of existence, what would it be? And I remember there was a big discussion about the word yeet, and that was a great episode. You should go and figure out which one it is, because I'm not going to go back and listen.
I sure don't remember what we
ask Oshi. Oshi will be able to figure it out.
Yeah, she probably will. Yeah.
Anyway, yes, our website, ThisIsBombers.com, has all the information you need to know about the Bombers, plus maybe more. Depends on how much information you need to know about the Bombers. But that includes what we do, our Discord, our email, our Twitch streams, our Twitter account maybe, and most importantly, our Patreon, where you can become our friend or best friend of the show by supporting us monthly. Shout outs to our current best friends of the show, Ann and Rob, and our friends Haley, Aaron, Minted Peas, and Reaper, who are now able to hear our post and pre-show. I don't know why I said in that order. Pre and post show.
Well, if you really are a fan, you listen to the post show first, and then you listen to the podcast, and then you listen to the pre-show to hear us talking about what we just talked about.
I don't like that, because then that messes with our day one numbers, which are really good. I definitely am not making that up, and certainly looked at it, and
Are you
Anyway, I was
referring to
spitting out.
What?
I was spitting out some great jokes in the pre-show for this episode.
True.
So
that is
You
blatant false advertising, and I feel bad for taking people's money if they subscribed based on that statement. So let's just move on.
There were jokes, though. There were definitely jokes.
and they came from me.
And they were Zyber's jokes. So if you like
It was
Zyber's
for Zyber,
jokes...
from Zyber, to Zyber.
Zyber at Zyber.Zyber.
I was going to say
Zyber.
something else, but I lost it.
Care of Zyber.
And this is bombastic news.
All right. Now,
Anyways.
now let's get to the upcoming releases. Let's get the news and stuff. Let's get all the news out of the way so that we can do the stupid IGN tournament that everyone's just dying for us to get back to. Oh, sorry,
Don't you talk
MARCHJORA'S
bad about-
Maskless.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Upcoming releases. March 22nd. Rune Factory 5, a fantasy Harvest Moon. Well, they got rid of that title because they can't use the words Harvest Moon anymore. But the original Rune Factory build, of course, as a fantasy Harvest Moon because it has role-playing and dungeon crawling elements as well as a Harvest Moon farming of things element.
I think I have the first Rune Factory, if I recall. I also have the first, and I think only Innocent Life, which is a science fiction futuristic Harvest Moon.
Doesn't Harvest Moon have a dungeon crawling thing technically with the cave system?
Now they've since followed the footsteps of Stardew and whatnot. And also, are we talking about Harvest Moon or are we talking about Story of Seasons?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Well, we're not talking about Harvest Moon.
I mean,
because Harvest Moon
Harvest
is not
Moon
Harvest
pre-
Moon anymore.
Well, it is.
Story of
though.
Seasons. Story of Seasons is Harvest Moon. Like, so for those of you who aren't following, Harvest Moon became Story of Seasons in I think 2013 or something, when
Around there.
Natsume bought out the rights to. I don't really know how the story actually worked out, but
The way that it worked out is that
Natsume owns the name.
yes. For the localization, Natsume owned the name Harvest Moon, but not the games that they were localizing. So then whenever Natsume and whoever it is that actually makes Harvest Moon split, they couldn't call it Harvest Moon anymore because they didn't own that, so they had to call it Story of Seasons, which is a more direct translation of the Japanese name anyway. But Natsume still
It's
owned
such a
Harvest
ridiculous
Moon.
thing, though.
So they still are making games called Harvest Moon, but they are not made by the same people that made Harvest Moon.
Who are now
They
They are
Marvelous.
inferior.
Marvelous,
Marvelous
thank you.
is
They
Yeah.
are inferior to the originals.
But Story of Seasons is still made by Harvest Moon. The original one. Just go play Stardew Valley.
I haven't played a Harvest
Or
Moon game
Animal
since
Crossing.
I haven't played a Harvest Moon game since A Wonderful Life on GameCube. I've never played a Rune
Yep.
Factory game. I'm kind of glad that Natsume is not doing the localization for Marvelous anymore because that game was messed up. Like the English text was like, what are you trying to tell me? Like, why are there so many typos? What is going on? How much are you paying this
that
localization?
turns out that was just the actual direct translation. They were really confused, just as you were.
They just
Right.
Google translated the entire game.
I love Google translating
do
Japanese
that.
to English and then back to Japanese and then back to English. It's great.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of my favorite things.
If I could time travel, I would totally get a translation job for video games and then just use Google Translate. And they'd just be all like, good enough.
Well, yeah, they would have
because
no
it
idea.
was back then.
Yeah.
Because it was good enough back then.
So that's Rune Factory on the 22nd.
Yeah, go pick up Rune Factory 5 if you hate yourself and have more time than I do. So that's that. I say that dismissively as though Rune Factory 5 is not going to be a high-quality game. I'm sure it will be, because all of those games
But
are fairly
let's
high
get to
quality.
the good day. The very important
March
day.
March 25th
Stacked.
is freaking loaded, and I myself,
Oh my gosh.
I myself am picking up 2 of the 3 major releases coming out on March 25th, and Zyber's probably got the third covered, and
I
possibly
want
some of
to
the
get
others.
all 3.
Yeah, so let's go one at a time, and let's go probably least headline making to most headline making, should we say? Tango Software's Ghostwire Tokyo, owned by Microsoft, coming exclusively to PlayStation 5 and PC, is out on March 25th. It's the same guys who did Evil Within, which means it's the same guys who did Resident Evil 4, which means I'm buying this game on day one.
Was it also Deathloop? Because it's a Bethesda team that made this, right?
No, it was Tango Gameworks that made this team. I don't know who made Deathloop, but it wasn't Tango.
Ah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a similar thing then.
Yes.
So I know like Sony has this because they had contracts from before Microsoft owned.
I
the
believe
people.
this might be the last standing contract they have with a Bethesda-owned team. I could be wrong
I
on
think
that.
so. Deathloop's Arcane, but they're the ones that did Dishonored.
Okay. But yeah, so apparently it will eventually not be PlayStation exclusive next year, so probably expect it on Xbox and Game Pass and whatever at that point. But for now, oh my gosh, it looks so amazing. I love it. It has floating cats as vendors.
It might come to PC Game Pass before it comes to actual Xbox Game Pass, which would be very interesting.
No such thing.
No, I mean, it's coming to PlayStation
what?
and PC.
I don't know.
Deg, did you play Tunic yet? Because that's on Game Pass.
I downloaded it earlier today and haven't sat down with it. I'll probably play it this weekend, so keep an eye out for that.
I also am
It was
very
great.
interested in Tunic, and I have a gaming PC now, so I can totally get it myself if I wanted to.
I didn't hear about Tunic until today, where someone posted in the chat like Tunic dropped, and I go, "Wait, who's stripping?"
We talked about Tunic on last week's podcast, Zyber. You telling me you didn't listen to it?
No,
Wow.
You're no better than me.
I haven't had time. I was dead.
Oh, that's a good point.
That's the opposite. Everyone's like, "Oh, I'll do that when I'm dead." Like, I'll have free time when I'm dead. I got stuff to do.
People don't realize how busy being dead is.
Oh no, now I don't want to be dead either.
You have to go to that whole office. We'd talk to that lady, and there's like football players there, and she's like kind of mean and like, don't say Beetlejuice 3 times or you're going to be in a bad situation.
And then you try to leave.
And you think that they'd be able to know how to use computers, but no, they still don't.
the giant
freaking
worms
ghouls.
try to eat you. Ghostwire Tokyo, March 25th.
Yep. And then also that same day, probably the second biggest release of the day, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, some Borderlands thing. I don't know. Zyber, tell me about it. It's coming to PS5, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox, and PC.
I am so excited for this. So, Tiny Tina, there was a DLC for Borderlands 2 where Tiny Tina basically plays or DMs a D&D campaign with the players, and it's amazing.
What?
And so this is like its own bigger game version of it, where all the players are new. They actually got really interesting classes for the players to play as, where there's a lot of melee emphasis, which is why I'm going to be trying to pressure Haley to play it, because she was always all like, "Oh, I'm terrible at shooting." I go, "Well, then you can punch people instead." And yeah, like my friend and I have been playing the Borderlands 2 DLC in preparation of this coming out, just be like, yeah, going from the original Tiny Tina DLC to this whole game.
It feels to me that this, speaking personally, I'm probably not going to get it because it's one of those, Borderlands has become one of those like Smash Brothers style titles where it's like, "Ooh boy, very excited, buy this, play it when I buy it and never touch it again" type of problems. Again, speaking personally.
Why? I mean, maybe you should go back and play more Borderlands games.
Well, maybe. I never finished Borderlands 3, and I had purchased it with the intent of playing with people and then didn't.
I'm a person.
I mean, are
The
you?
person that we gave away our free copy of Borderlands 3 to is a person.
Yeah, I don't
That was rare.
even remember who that was at this point. That was
I
season
don't
1,
either.
wasn't it?
I don't know.
that?
I just remember trying to give it away for like half a year, and like we had
was
listeners and stuff. Just nobody wanted it. It was weird.
Was it Muffin, or did Muffin decline it?
They declined it, let's be honest. But it does look good. It's just there are other games that I am going to play instead. You know what I mean?
Such
Personally
as,
speaking.
drum roll, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, coming to Nintendo Switch on March 25th. So a very robust day in games early on in 2022. Pretty much something for everybody here. And Kirby and the Forgotten Land, if you haven't played the demo and you're listening to this, I would highly encourage you to go check it out, because I got to tell you, mouthful mode is so ridiculous, and I absolutely love it.
Love it. I would say pull a Zyber and listen to the podcast while playing that demo.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot of focus. I mean, Kirby is very story heavy, but you also don't really need to pay attention to it to kind of understand what's going on. Oh, look,
It's a lot.
getting a scam phone call.
It's a lot of reading.
It's a nice platforming game. I plan on playing as Waddle Dee while Haley plays as Kirby.
Nice. Yeah, I was
Bandana D.
very impressed by the demo. But I'm also it's the whole Nintendo thing of I don't know if it's necessarily worth a full $60, but Nintendo games never go on sale, so that's what I'll end up having to buy it for anyway, so why wait type of situation,
I mean, I would
Why
probably
wait?
beat
Because
day
there's
one.
2 other great games to get that day.
True.
Yeah, and March
I mean,
25th is absolutely loaded. I mean,
Yeah,
if
it's
you are
crazy.
if you are a fan of any of the major consoles and like any major franchises that have released in the past few years, like all 3 of these games are probably on your radar. So I don't know why we need to tell you about them, but they are out there.
They're
It's so
definitely
ridiculous
worthwhile.
because we got those 2 games that Haley and I will be playing, and then Haley and also have to kill Chaos before that happens. We have a week to do it.
You keep talking about killing Chaos. Who are you referring to? Who is Chaos? What is Chaos?
You can't.
Chaos is the main villain of the first Final Fantasy game, and is also most likely the main villain of Final Fantasy Stranger of Paradise.
Oh, so you're playing
out
Stranger of Paradise.
Friday.
That's out tomorrow.
Last Friday.
As we're recording this. Yeah.
What
Which, by the way, Anthony, we did not cover on last week's episode because the phrase Stranger of Paradise meant nothing to me. I looked at it, I stared right at it, I was like, I don't know what that is, so I just skipped over it. So, there's a Final Fantasy game that came out a couple days ago. If you didn't know, go check that out.
So legit, though. And by legit, I mean it looks so...
bad game
so
name?
it looks so 2000s, like Shadow the Hedgehog kind of awesomeness.
Man.
That's legit is not what I would call that.
Dude, Shadow was too legit to quit with a 2.
It's actually, I mean, a lot of people keep comparing it to Dark Souls,
It's
which...
they shouldn't. They should compare it to Ninja Gaiden. They should compare it to Ninja Gaiden, not Dark Souls.
I want even
That
more
also,
to not.
that probably doesn't help Anthony at all in wanting to play
I
this.
know.
I don't
It's
like
all
anything I'm hearing.
It's a Final Fantasy game. It has Dark Souls stuff, apparently. It
It's
has
Ninja Gaiden, Dark Souls, Final Fantasy. Oh boy.
It has warrior-style combat.
It's Team Ninja, so it has misogyny.
Something.
It's great.
But wait, it has difficulties.
Yeah,
So.
it has hard and ultra hard. That would be
Actually
awesome
has,
if a Dark Souls game came
actually-
out and did that. They had like a hard mode and an ultra hard mode, and that was it. Like, I'd be so into that. That'd be the funniest thing ever to me.
That would be humorous. But no, this one actually specifically has like a story mode, which apparently is all like, if you guys just want to get through the story, here it is.
Whatever. How could the story possibly be that good that you would be going to that game just for the story?
I mean,
This would be the kind of game that I would totally watch cutscenes of if I wasn't able to play
it's
it.
a Squeenix game. It's basically just going to be cutscenes.
So much cynicism going on right now. In this,
All right, so one of the cutscenes is
boy.
the guy thinks they fought Chaos, but turns out it wasn't. And so then blah blah talking happens, and the guy's just all like, whatever, I'm out of here. And then he takes out his cell phone and it starts playing like Limp Bizkit or something. I don't remember what the song was.
That's where that meme comes from?
Yes.
Oh.
That's why I'm just all like, what is with this game? I must play it.
I would like to have Zyber explain every Final Fantasy game to me that way. Every Final Fantasy story, just explain it to me in like 15 seconds, like you just did, and then I'm down.
That's going to be a special episode for sure in the future. We need to
All right,
do that.
jot that down. We'll have that in our ideas folder.
We'll call it Zybers Explains or something because it's got X's in it.
Would be like that guy from Ant-Man explaining things.
Whatever happened to Zyber's top 10? I feel like we're diving into the past a lot this episode. Speaking of things we need to bring back,
It's been like 2 seasons since I've done one.
we should
those.
do another one.
I mean, we haven't done any like games on the show for 2 seasons.
Yeah,
Whatever
show
happened to
sucks now.
Spiegel's Treasures, man?
Oh, okay. Actually, what are you talking about? We talk about games every episode.
Okay.
Spiegel's Treasures went away because I spent an absurd amount of money on games, and I kind of stopped feeling like I needed to like put that out there. Like, hey, I bought a $300 Resident Evil 4 PS2 chainsaw controller. Isn't that cool? Oh,
you did
crap.
put that out there a little bit, though.
Well,
You
just
bought
now.
that one GameCube game. What was that called?
Cubivore.
Yeah, Cubivore.
I bought Rule of Rose. I bought a lot of stuff
Jeez.
that I don't want to really put out there.
Dokapon Kingdom, except we wanted you to get
No,
that.
we definitely need to play Dokapon Kingdom.
I have
We
Dokapon
need
Kingdom sealed on PS2. I actually had it before the price went insane. So, like, I bought it when it was... Shoot, I probably got it for like $40-$50.
Jeez.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So that's
Oh,
probably
that was
sealed
also
forever,
PS2.
though.
The Wii one is the more expensive one.
I don't want the Wii one. I have Fortune Street for all my Wii enraging board game needs.
Yeah, but Wii allows for 4 players more easily.
Yep.
Yeah, but, like, I can never find anyone to play 4-player Fortune Street. Like, I can get Piddle. Sometimes I can get Anthony if he's here.
We've done 4-player Fortune Street.
We need to do Fortune Street on the Twitch channel, because now that I'm like actually willing to do streaming, like it could be something that we
You'll
do.
potentially actually have fun with it. And now that I
Well,
have
I just-
my streaming computer
As long
set
as
up,
Piddle isn't here to purposely ruin you.
I need
True.
to understand why my streaming equipment is malfunctioning so hard, because I just can't. I really want to stream, but every Friday I get on and I'm like, well, it doesn't work. Let me spend an hour and a half troubleshooting it, and at the end of the hour and a half, I just want to throw my computer into the abyss. So
Is it because it's a new computer now?
yeah,
It is
it's
new.
because it's a new computer. It doesn't work, I guess.
speaking of not working,
Kirby and the Forgotten Land in stores now.
well,
Or
I
next
had
week, or this week.
I have an item for the weekly bomb.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
We all know that Reggie was working for the GameStop board of directors. Joined.
Reggie
I don't
who?
know.
Reggie who? Not everyone.
He
knows.
was on the board.
He-
Reggie, my body is ready, Fizame.
Yep, that's the one.
I
Nintendo
didn't know he
Reggie.
changed his name. All right.
For anyone paying attention, he was there for like a year and quit. Left the board in 2021. Just recently, he was at a panel for something or another, and was talking about why he left. And he said that he left because basically GameStop has no idea what they're doing.
Is this a quote?
The quote is
Okay.
from Reggie. The quote is, "There has not been an articulated strategy. Leadership says we don't want to articulate our strategy because they don't want it to be stolen. To me, that was not acceptable." So basically, he left because they don't have a plan for how they're going to make GameStop viable and not the spiraling death that the retail brick and mortar stores of GameStop have been in for the past, 5 years, if not.
I love that though. Like, who's gonna steal it? What competition
Yeah.
do they have?
Yeah, like I don't even understand what that means. They're worried about someone stealing a business plan that's effectively confidential.
Well,
Like who is leaking that?
the chairman of GameStop, Ryan Cohen, is also quoted during an investor meeting. He said, "You won't find us talking a big game, making a bunch of lofty promises, or telegraphing our strategy to the competition. We know some people want us to lay out a whole detailed plan today, but that's not going to happen." What competition? Who in their right mind is looking at GameStop being like, "Ooh, I'm sure worried about what they're bringing to the table. They're definitely going to compete with us."
Any other kind of brick and mortar game store is specifically a used game store. Like, they don't get new games. Or it's like a big business like Target or Best Buy or Walmart. And once again, they don't sell used games. So who the frick cares?
If I was an investor, first of all, the majority of GameStop investors are just the diamond hands to the moon crazy meme Redditors anyway. But like, this does not instill any more confidence in my investment in GameStop to be told, "We're not going to tell you what our plan is." Well, then why do you have my money? Sell.
Yeah, I don't really know anyone who actually put money into the stocks that was wanting it to, make GameStop actually change something.
No, it was.
But really, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The real reason they don't want to give Reggie the information is because all along they've been trying to figure out how to get Mother 3 to the U.S.
Okay, if we're just
And they
delving
wanna
into
keep
joke
it
territory,
secret.
I have an actual point to make before we move on, which is GameStop. You guys have talked about already, like how they're not really competing against anybody. You're right. They're not competing against anybody because every piece of the market that they would be competing against has moved on from its specific niche. Everything is either online or being sold in like highly specific specialty stores which exist in like downtown areas in college towns. GameStop as an organization is competing against obsolescence. They're not competing against other retailers.
Yeah.
And
well,
the fact that Reggie Fils-Aimé left along with like 8 other board members at the same time, basically after they said that they weren't going to reveal their plan, I think that shows more than anything that I made the correct decision to leave the GameStop organization when I quit in 2016. That's all I have to say on that.
Yeah. He said
Reggie
is also quoted as saying that him joining the board, the GameStop leadership, quote, rebuffed his ideas. So he joined the board. They got this big name, Reggie, from Nintendo.
That was a big deal. Like, and at the time I was like, wait, what? Why would they do this? Okay. And then all of a sudden it was like, yeah, we just brought you on just for PR, I guess, because that's what it looks like now.
They didn't listen to a word he said anyway. And here, just to put that final nail in the coffin and to sort of really harp on they're fighting against obsolescence thing, this article that I have here from Business Insider, by the way, GameStop's broad plans, because they didn't lay out specific plans, but their broad plans was to transform the company from brick-and-mortar retailer to e-commerce focused, which they specifically tried to say they want to become the Amazon of gaming, which is like, cool, have fun competing against Amazon, which is the Amazon of gaming right now.
There's already an Amazon of gaming. It already is doing better business than GameStop is in new game sales. So,
I mean, honestly, any competition against Amazon is good to me. Amazon needs competition. But, like, they've already, I mean, it's so sad that they've already closed so many brick-and-mortar shops in preparation for this supposed thing. But
where's this
also,
thing?
They have been trying to sell games online for a while. Like, I remember they're all like, look, we're going to start having the older games. But, like, you look up anything, like, you look up GameCube games or something on their website, and you'll find, like, a Barbie game, and that's it.
Like, I still need that Barbie game. I don't
not
have
actually
that one
on there.
I need Bratz Diamonds, too, if anyone has it. But also, as far as like their online stuff is concerned, you also can't tell what quality the product is in. You can't tell if it has the original box art. You can't tell if it has the manual. Like, what kind of service is that?
Just the last thing that I want to say from this article that I'm just like out on GameStop for sure is that they also they announced they're working on, with this whole push to e-commerce and this whole Amazon of gaming, they have an NFT marketplace in the works for GameStop.
No one even talks about NFTs anymore. Get with the program, GameStop.
So much
do you guys ever feel like maybe we're the only people in the entire world who don't understand why NFTs are like such an interesting idea? Like,
no.
and can actually
no. Definitely
because
not.
Every company seems to be jumping on board, and I feel like they would only do that if there was a significant market research that indicated that people were all about NFTs. So unless this market research
would only do that.
Well, no, GameStop wouldn't do market research, but they're not the only company who's jumping on the NFT train. So like, are all of these companies just poorly run, or are we the ones who don't understand the value of NFTs?
Well, I mean, look at which companies are the every company. It's like GameStop and Ubisoft and, you know,
generally reprehensible organizations.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I'll buy that.
It's because that's what an NFT is. It's basically just a big Ponzi scheme. The way in which these organizations are trying to use it. So it's the sign up for Game Informer of the digital world. The NFTs are the random tchotchkes and Funko Pops of the brick and mortar store for their.
I thought Funko Pops were the brick and mortar stores of the brick and mortar.
Yeah, something like that. Anyways, good job.
This
Good
is
job.
a bomb.
Good job, GameStop. You're killing yourself again. Wild.
Yeah, to put a bow on this, good for Reggie. Good for him for getting out of that situation, because it can be hard to gracefully exit from a situation like that, and then on top of that, to speak so candidly about why he left. What a hero! You don't get executives that do this.
I mean,
Reggie was as tight-lipped as they came when he worked with Nintendo, but now that he's out of there, he's just firing. He's a loose cannon, man. Just throwing GameStop execs under the bus.
It took him a year, but
even when he was with Nintendo, everyone loved him for his PR
charisma
chops. Yeah. So this is sort of just more of the same, except now he's not beholden to, say, GameStop because he left. So he's just like, whatever sells the Reggie brand, you know?
I love the Reggie brand.
He's also the guy that is just constantly is going to like universities and all these other places to do talks and stuff about the gaming everything.
The gaming everything.
It's interesting that he's like still kind of so visible and involved in the gaming industry, and has been basically since he retired from Nintendo, since he quote unquote retired, and continues working apparently as hard as he ever has. So the life of an executive.
He's a rock star.
I thought he was supposed to relax and play Animal Crossing.
He's a rock star.
I bet he plays like 100 hours of Animal Crossing a week.
I thought you were going to say a day for some reason.
That's how days work.
That would not be possible, but...
I mean,
Reggie will make it happen.
If you change the dates on the Switch...
Oh, you're right.
It's just been the same day for the past 2 years for Reggie.
All right.
All right. Yep.
That's that topic. We got to do this
Yeah.
IGN tournament thing quickly, because we spent forever on that.
It was fun.
that was so
fun.
great, though.
All right. MARCHJORA'S MASKNESS. Best video game of all time. I'm not going to
figure it out.
I'm not going to explain too much about this. IGN did a thing, and now we're doing it better. Listen to some of the previous episodes, and we explain it better in there. And like, either you've listened to those episodes and you know what's going on, or you haven't, and you need to go back and do that anyway. So, see you when you get back. Anyway, here's the next. What were we doing? Like 16 at a time? Was it that we said?
The 8 matchups at a time.
We're doing the third quarter, so...
Okay, the top right of this bracket sheet they have. So,
yes.
First up, fighting against each other for best video game of all time, Super Mario World versus Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Interesting matchup.
Isn't it, though?
Man, yeah.
I mean, I love Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, but it has virtually no staying power in my own personal rotation. But when you said Super Mario World, immediately what I thought was, I should go play some Super Mario World.
Yeah.
Like right now. So I'm going to take Super Mario World here.
It's really disappointing to me that this is Ultimate, because, like, if I were to say Smash Bros. Versus Super Mario World, I'd be all like, I mean, they both are, you know...
Big?
They both are very big for the gaming history, whatever, and such. But to specifically be only Ultimate, it's just like, oh man, that's a lot harder to say that over Mario World.
I mean, at this point in the game, I kind of gotta side with what Shay said. Ultimate just doesn't have the staying power, because then...
Because we're too old to care about this nonsense, is what you're saying.
Well, that, and also, like, as soon as eventually the next Smash Brother comes out, that's all people are going to play. Nobody's going to go back to Ultimate once that happens.
But this is the Ultimate one. That means no DLC. They're not going to release, 48 new stages and characters for $25.
I mean, we do also have that. Like, this game has a ridiculous amount of characters, and it's so hard to see the next game doing that again. So that is kind of a thing of, will they actually go to the next game, or are there going to be people that want to stick on Ultimate like they did with Melee?
But you can...
I guess we would have to wait to find out.
But you can always go back and play Super Mario World, and if you get really good and or bored of that, play some Kaizo. Super Mario World has... Yeah, but I'm saying it's got DLC too.
Okay, but like Super Mario World and Kaizo has ruined a good chunk of games done quick for me, so that made me actually go for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Thanks, Anthony.
Well, it doesn't matter anyway, because Super Mario World won, so let's move on.
Next, The Last of Us.
Wait, hold on. Which one won the actual IGN? I'm sure it was Ultimate. Yeah, it was 80 to 20.
It was 40 to 60-40, actually.
40 to 60 Ultimate won.
Okay, well that's a little more better.
But
some people have taste.
Next up, The Last of Us versus Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Another interesting matchup.
Haven't played Snake Eater. Have played The Last of Us. I love The Last of Us, so that's what I'm picking. That's it.
I don't have any opinions, sadly.
The rules say you have to vote.
Well, what's your vote?
I have not played Metal Gear Solid 3, nor do I own it. I do own The Last of Us, and I've played a little bit of it, so I guess I'll vote for Last of Us.
Cool. I'll vote Snake Eater, so it's not
Unanimous.
Great. Dag, you played up to, I believe, Pittsburgh in The Last of Us, and then stopped playing.
Yep.
Why?
It's hometown.
I mean, that's how I play video games.
Too real. It was too real for you.
It was just one of those.
You saw your house, and you were like, "Oh, I don't. This is making me uncomfortable."
It was one of those, like, I got to a point and stopped playing for the day, and then never started again.
He even had his bedroom perfectly correct.
That was the creepy part. Last of Us was 74 to Metal Gear Solid's 26 for IGN, so
it seems weird to me that it would be Snake Eater and not MGS2 or MGS5. Those two seem to be the ones that would probably garner the most cachet in a bracket like this. But
they keep making weird decisions.
Yeah, such as the next one, which is Halo 2 versus Mass Effect 2.
All right, well, that seems all right. Those games seem like legitimate choices.
Yeah, but like it's interesting they chose Halo 2 when it seems like their audience would prefer one of the later games, you'd think.
Or one of the earlier ones, by which I mean just Halo Combat Evolved. No, Halo 2 has a lot of staying power because of the multiplayer, because it was the first online. It was the first thing that took advantage of Xbox Live.
Yeah, but like it
created matchmaking as a concept.
It was still earlier than me for that stuff.
I am voting for Halo 2. I am voting for Halo 2 because while Mass Effect 2 is a really good game, I don't like that they turned it into more of an action shooter. I really liked the RPG elements in the first Mass Effect. I wish they had stuck with that a little bit more. Yes, Mass Effect 2 is a much better game for that, but also it became another action shooter in 2010, and there were like a million of those. And Halo 2 was such a revelation at the time for online multiplayer. Like, everyone talked and played Halo 2. So I'm going with Halo 2.
I'm going with Halo 2 also, because the bit I played of Mass Effect, I was all like,
Yeah, I mean, it should surprise no one that I'm voting Halo 2.
I think I should have voted Mass
It
Effect 2.
It actually does surprise me, because I knew you love Mass Effect, so I thought that it had a chance.
But just the lasting effect of Halo 2 is much stronger than Mass Effect 2.
It's so strong that he's broken a monitor due to playing Halo.
That was not Halo 2.
Which Halo was it?
And I was very frustrated by Mass Effect 2 because I did play through on Insanity Difficult, but then the achievement didn't pop at the end, and I haven't touched it since.
So anyway, Halo 2 won 69 to 31.
Nice.
Okay, that seems about right.
Grand Theft Auto 5 versus Uncharted 2 Among Thieves.
I'm voting against Grand Theft Auto 5 on principle, not on the quality of the game, because I actually have not played the game. But I actually just finished my platinum run of Uncharted, and will be starting Uncharted 2 for the second time. Had never completed it, but I enjoyed what I played, and so I'm voting for Uncharted 2.
It's really hard for me to vote for Grand Theft Auto 5 because I can make a lot of comparisons to Elder Scrolls 5 with it.
Well, we also have to... Technically... I wonder if this is Grand Theft Auto 5, which also includes Grand Theft Auto 5 Online, or if it's just Grand Theft Auto 5. Like, at this point, they're kind of separate games.
I don't know, but I just really, really, really did not like Uncharted, so I'm going for Grand Theft Auto 5.
I have not played Uncharted 2, but I have played Grand Theft Auto 5. So Grand Theft Auto 5 wins, despite Shay's protestations.
I mean, it's not going to beat Halo 2, so that's fine.
I mean, you're right there.
Can we just preview that early?
Gosh.
Anyways,
all right,
gosh.
GTA 1 75 versus Uncharted's 25 on the IGN.
Yeah, that's not surprising at all.
Wow. Ooh, here's a lineup. Street Fighter 2 versus Pokemon Yellow.
Well, Street Fighter 2 had Yoko Shimomura do the music, so...
Pokemon Yellow is a joke. Pokemon Yellow is an
absolute...
It was a cash grab. It was a...
You want to talk about
of Pokemon Yellow some other time.
Is that really the only Pokemon game on here is freaking Yellow?
Yes. Spoilers for later, but yes. Pokemon Yellow is the only Pokemon game in this entire...
Gosh.
I don't know why they picked Yellow, which...
Like, Fire Red, Leaf Green probably would have been better.
Yeah. Yellow arguably started the downward trend for Pokemon when it started introducing the weird friendship and the...
Wow, that was quick.
Yeah. One game and then downward trend.
I'm a cynic, as I believe Shay likes to point out a lot. Anyways.
Well, it's irrelevant because Street Fighter 2 is one of the most impactful, important games in gaming history. And I think that's what we've been largely leaning towards in this entire bracket. And frankly, this particular region, I think, is very strong for impactful games over the history of gaming. The Last of Us, Halo 2, GTA 5, hate it though I might, Street Fighter 2. Come on, these games are amazing.
Super Mario World.
Street Fighter 2 is the first game Yoko Shimomura made music for, I believe, so that is a huge...
Well, and also it really, just set the table for fighting games, period.
I don't even like fighting games. Street Fighter 2 is awesome.
Yeah.
It's so deep. It's crazy.
And that's with, best... It's called the best video game of all time. It better be something that's impactful and has lasting all-timeness to it.
And not God of War on PS4.
Right.
Which is what actually won, right? Or am I misremembering?
Yes, it was.
That doesn't make any sense, but okay.
All right, here's a fun one. Super Mario... in the IGN, we voted Street Fighter 2. IGN, Pokemon Yellow won. It was 47-53.
So close for some reason.
But for some reason, Pokemon... Purely because it was the only Pokemon on the bracket, I think.
Well, and it's a coin flip at that point, because anyone actually voting in this thing is probably 20 years old. And guess what 20-year-olds never did? They never played Street Fighter 2, and they never played Pokemon Yellow. So all they have to go on is either A, nostalgia for Pokemon, or nostalgia for Street Fighter, or a general interest in either. And I would say people are more likely to be interested in Pokemon in 2022 than Street Fighter, given the direction that franchise went in the last decade.
Yeah, given the direction either franchise went in the past decade. Next up, Super Mario 64 versus Batman Arkham City.
Batman Arkham City.
That's a lineup, right?
You scared the crap out of me for a second because I thought you were going to say Arkham Asylum, which I just finished and loved. And I was like, oh man, am I going to have to pick? I would still go with Super Mario 64, but I haven't played City yet. Maybe I'll like it even more than Asylum, and then we might have to have a conversation. But for now, Super Mario 64.
I am interested in seeing what your take on Arkham City versus Arkham Asylum is, because they're similar but also very different.
A lot of people prefer one over the other, heavily. So yeah.
You know how I feel. That's tough. Because on one hand, personally speaking, I'd rather play Batman Arkham City than Super Mario 64, because you know how I feel about 3D platformers. But on the other hand,
Arkham City.
Well, but on the other hand, it's friggin' Super Mario 64.
But vote for Arkham City. If you don't like Super Mario 64, if you don't think it's good, then why are you voting for it?
I grew up on PlayStation platformers, so Super Mario 64 was not really an influence that much on PlayStation, or at least the ones that I played PlayStation platformers. So I'm just like, whatever. I hated the controls of Mario 64. Sorry.
I'm not super offended by any take that says Super Mario 64 does not hold up in 2022. Because, Super Mario Odyssey came out 5 years ago and did everything better. Every single aspect of that game is
so
better than Mario 64.
smooth. I loved that.
Yeah, but Super Mario 64 crawled, so Super Mario Odyssey could jump up, touch the sky.
Jump up in the air, jump up, don't be scared, let your cares soar away, you're my superstar, something.
That's how that song goes.
Well, who really soared away was Batman.
It's falling with style. I am going to shake it up and actually do the Super Mario 64 vote, just because I think that if we're going with best video game of all time, Super Mario 64 has way more staying power than Batman Arkham City.
I will buy that argument. That makes a lot of sense. I'm surprised, but I will accept your rationale as a Mario 64 fan.
Which
sorry, Zyber.
Is hilarious because IGN, guess what won?
Arkham City 100-0.
61 to 39. 61 to 39.
I mean, anytime there's a matchup that would enrage me if one outcome was picked over the other, that's usually what happened. So,
It's not even enraging anymore because it's not surprising.
Well,
next
this
up,
one, again, I'm not enraged by anyway, but go ahead.
well, Dark Souls versus Shadow of the Colossus. I'm voting Shadow of the Colossus. That's it. I'm not discussing this.
It's kind of disappointing to me because I always preferred Ego to Shadow Colossus and hate how no one like even knows what Ego is.
I mean, you're talking to the wrong group of people.
Yeah, like I know what
Still.
Ego is.
Well, like people are just like Shadow Colossus is the amazing masterpiece, and they don't even bother seeing what other games are in its IP.
Yeah, like Last Guardian, which is definitely...
I liked Last Guardian.
Oof.
I don't need to argue with Piddle because I know that we have really different views.
I watched / listened to a Last Guardian speedrun today. It was very annoying. Like, just kind of frustrating to look at. But
I mean, yeah, like it's not really it's not really a speed running game. You have an actual animal that you're making go to places.
I've seen some speedruns of Nintendogs.
Nintendogs aren't actual animals.
I always
Wow,
had
it's hard
trouble
to
getting
tell you
the
this.
DS microphone to pick up what I was trying to call my dog in Nintendogs. Did anyone else have that problem, or was it just me?
I
Maybe
think
my
they
microphone was busted.
I think they specifically had it not recognize offensive words.
Oh, so if I call
think
my
it-
dog little effer, then it's it's not gonna.
It doesn't. It's just sorry, we didn't get that.
But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna vote Shadow Colossus anyway because I played Dark Souls and I actually finished Shadow Colossus.
Shadow of the Colossus is more of a puzzle game than it is the type of boss fighting that Dark Souls is.
Yeah, I too am voting for Shadow of the Colossus because I want to play that game, but Dark Souls actively pushes me away from it.
Yep.
Wow.
And I'm
True, though.
assuming Dark Souls won by a significant margin.
66-34 Dark Souls won.
I would call that significant.
Yeah, I mean, it's double.
Not
Oh,
us,
here's
though.
An interesting one.
What?
Next one's interesting.
Last one.
Yeah, this is the last one for today's episode. It
We
is
can move on.
Half-Life 2 versus Rise of the Tomb Raider.
What?
Wow, that is interesting.
Is that the first reboot?
That is
Tomb
the
Raider?
first reboot Tomb Raider.
No,
That's
it's not.
the second one. That is the first one is just called Tomb Raider. That's the second one.
Huh.
Well, and it should be
So you
noted,
got-
Tomb Raider as a franchise has also been rebooted like 3 different times. So
But this is
Not
the
even
most.
the first.
it's not even the
Twice.
first reboot. It's,
But it is
it's
the
like
most
multiple
recent.
reboots. Yeah,
Most
until
recent.
it needs to be rebooted again
The
because
sequel
nobody bought
to
Shadow
the
of the Tomb Raider.
So we got the sequel to the second reboots of Tomb Raider, or we
Third.
have the
Half-Life
sequel
2.
to Half-Life. That, yeah,
I mean,
That
or
can never
Half-Life
get
2
to
Episode
3.
1 or just Half-Life 2?
it's
just
just
Half-Life
Half-Life 2.
because like the episodes are like full games, aren't
Yeah,
they?
there's Episode 1 and Episode 2. But there's no Episode 3 and no Half-Life 3.
So one of
There's
my
an
deepest
Alex, though.
one of my deepest shames as a video game playing person is that I have not played Half-Life 2. But I'm going to pick it just on principle because, again, you're talking impactful, and Rise of the Tomb Raider is not impactful. It's not. Maybe it's good, but we're
good.
talking best game of all time here. Come on. Come on.
If it
You
was
shouldn't
one of
even be in
the
this.
earlier ones, then I would be more
Even-
considerate of it.
even
Even
then,
then,
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty impactful game.
it was an impactful main character.
Yeah. I mean, you could say maybe Uncharted wouldn't exist if not for Tomb Raider, but we're also talking about Half-Life 2.
Oh, you mean
This-
Uncharted that didn't even advance in our very own MARCHJORA'S MASKNESS today?
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Whereas Half-Life 2, where the Source engine comes from, and literally like half of the video games that you played on your PC in the 2000s. Yeah,
And like most of the memes on the internet.
But if Tomb Raider never exists and then Uncharted never exists, what if The Last of Us also never existed?
anyways, it's Half-Life 2. Half-Life 2
Then
is,
The Last
is-
of Us 2 would never exist, and everyone would have been happy with the way that The Last of Us didn't end.
And then we'd never have any games with girls except Metroid.
So what did Zyber vote for?
I don't know. I'll go Half-Life 2 also.
Yeah, because you're
Me
smart. Anyways, IGN disagreed with us, and Rise of the Tomb Raider
Really?
won against
52.
Half-Life 2, 52-48. Which
Even closer than the other one.
I want to say at least it was close, but like that doesn't comfort me very much because it shouldn't have been close anyway. This is like in sports when like you have like this really good team that just like plays crappy one day and happens to lose to like the worst team in the league.
And then they miss out on their chance for the... It was like a really good team, but this was their chance to clinch the playoffs, and that was the one game they choked.
Half-Life 2, mega choke. Bad job by
not in the one that matters, because MARCHJORA'S MASKNESS goes to Half-Life 2.
That's true. This is a good looking region here that we've got with Mario World, Last of Us, Halo 2, GTA 5, Street Fighter 2, Super Mario 64, Shadow of the Colossus, and Half-Life 2. Now, those are some games, man. I won't disagree with any of those.
That's going to be fun on the night when we roll back around it on the, semifinals at that point? I don't know.
I am undecided on a couple of these, so...
Of the 4 choices... No, wait, no. Of the 8 choices, 3 of them we agree with.
Great.
Sure. Right. That's it. MARCHJORA'S MASKNESS. Tune in next week.
What'd you guys do this week? Let's do a minute recap.
I actually played a lot of games this week, weirdly enough.
I started Legends Arceus, finally.
Arceus.
Arceus. Anyway, yeah, it's fun. I didn't even use Pokemon to fight the one special Pokemon. I just threw crap at them.
Yep. That's good. It's way easier to just chuck bags of stuff at it, the Pokemon, than to Pokemon battle it. Which, for some reason, makes me think of that. Remember, there was that one game / mod, whatever, that got shut down because it was Pokemon but with guns, and you just ran around blasting Pokemon with like an AK.
Sounds awesome.
I wonder why.
But then Legend Arceus came out, and you're just chucking bags of dirt at Pokemon. It's basically the same thing.
Molotov cocktails. You're just running around and just blasting dudes in the face.
Hey, it's not dirt. It's food.
Bronze knuckles.
Whatever it was, I paid little attention and just was chucking things at Pokemon because it's fun.
The smell of the food is supposed to calm them down.
But getting beans did the face by the food.
No wonder they keep trying to attack me.
Just catch me sitting there screaming "nerd" at my Switch while I...
Anyway, I also played a bit of BioShock last Wednesday as a part of a stream. Plan on continuing that.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun. I got basically to the point where I stopped playing last time I tried playing the game. So
you doing a wrench playthrough?
I mean, I practically am. I only
it's
get
the
a gun
only
out.
way
The
to
other
play
people
it.
have a gun out.
The wrench is the only way. You just get
I got to the point where they give you the shotgun, and then there's like a surprise attack from a bunch of people. Initially, I tried using the shotgun. I'm like, all right, hit 2 people. And now I'm reloading, and I'm getting hit. And then I redid it because my game crashed, and I just used the wrench and killed them all in 1 hit each.
Yep. Correct, because you get those, what are they, plasmids? But not the ones that are the perk.
Yeah, the tonics.
Tonics, that's what they are. You get the ones that give you the wrench boosts, and you're just one-shotting. I think you can, 3-hit the final boss of the game with the wrench.
Wow.
Yes, that is true. There might be an achievement surrounding that as well. I can't remember.
There should be.
There's also you can increase the damage or magazine size of weapons. So I increased the magazine size of the pistol, and it went from 6 to 22. I was like, what? That's a huge difference. So now I use the pistol more.
Nope, wrench.
I use the pistol for far away stuff. But yeah, it's a lot of
fun.
Run
closer to it.
If you want to see Anthony and me argue about whether it's a horror game or not, you can go to our Discord and look at that in the stream chat real quick. Unless you
it is not. To us, I haven't read the stream chat, but I am taking my side. That is not a horror game.
Too bad. It
took
totally
my side.
It's
No, it's
do you listen to the music? While playing it?
It's got horror elements and horror theming, but it is not a horror game.
Listen to the music. It's trying to make you jump.
Find me a horror game where you can go around busting dudes with a wrench after freezing them solid. Find me that horror game, and then I will accept that it is a horror game. There's nothing about that game that suggests survival horror, action horror, horror of any kind.
It's like Resident Evil, except you also get superpowers in your left hand.
It is nothing like Resident Evil, but okay.
Well, yeah, maybe Resident Evil 5 or 6, but those ones are not horror games.
It's not like Resident Evil 5 or 6 either. What are you talking about? Everyone is wrong, except me. And I'm playing Cookie Clicker, which...
turns out you're wrong. Turns out you're wrong, actually.
You don't play Cookie Clicker, you just watch it.
No, I am playing Cookie Clicker. I've been playing it the entire time we've been podcasting. I don't know if you noticed, but
excuse me, you guys always complain about when I play games.
Well, wait a second. I thought you said that you don't play Cookie Clicker. You just watch it. So
do we get to complain about you watching or playing a game? Pick one, Shay.
You're distracted either way.
What makes you think I'm distracted? This has been my best episode of Bombers ever. So
you should download an auto clicker.
Maybe I have.
Oh boy, it's gotten serious.
You're just watching.
I played games.
What did you play?
4 different games, actually. One of them, which everyone should be playing, Serial Cleaner. It is this month's Game of the Month for the Game Club.
Yay!
So I've been playing that. Pretty cool so far. I've been enjoying it. I mean, obviously I'm going to give my whole breakdown when we do our end of the month breakdown for the Game of the Month for the Game Club. But I haven't played.
What kind of cereal
what is it about?
Oh, like Corn Pops or Frosted Flakes or
cereal as in like
Captain Crunch,
a serialized TV show or a serial killer. You
run
around
donuts.
Oops, all bombers. You run around. You are a cleaner, like a mob cleaner, like cleaning up bodies and stuff from hits, from murders, and it reminds me a bit of a game that I was just about to reference. I can't remember the title of, but it's got stealth elements of not getting caught by the cops as you're cleaning stuff up. And it has a very pleasant 70s aesthetic and soundtrack to it.
So are you cleaning things?
You're cleaning up murder bodies.
Oh.
Are you working for the mob? Or are you just kind of a guy, okay, like if you were just hired by the building...
It's a hobby, actually.
To like be a janitor and like clean up and there happened to be a murder there, like, yeah, I'd be like, oh, I guess I gotta hurry and clean this up or my butt is grass with my boss later.
That's like Viscera cleanup detail. No, this is like you are a cleaner for the mob, going around to different places and picking up the evidence in the bodies and stuff. So, you should be playing it. It's the Game Club game. I also, for 42 cents, I bought Chex Quest. The remake.
Yay! It used to be free with a box of checks.
Well, you had to buy the box of checks.
But the game was free.
The game was free. It always says no purchase is necessary. Somehow.
So tell us about Chex Quest. It's Doom, but with cereal.
Yeah, except the remake is not Doom. They added in the ability to aim up and down, and I frankly hate it. Yeah,
why would they? That's
yeah.
Nope. I'm over it. I don't want this game now. They
put in a y-axis, and it's a little rough.
Is it?
Is it at least an inverted y-axis? The N64 controller to do it.
It has the option to invert or not in the settings.
Okay, good. At least they have that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fun trip down memory lane. They put in full voice acting, which is entertaining. It was definitely worth...
Nobody asked for this. I don't understand why they're...
I don't know why it came out, but I bought it for 42 cents, and I gotta tell you, it was probably worth 42 cents, but...
So a ringing endorsement for Chex Quest HD. Thank you for that, Anthony.
Yeah,
what else have you been playing?
I mean, at that point, just go play the regular Chex Quest for free. It's vaporware at this point.
Yep, you can find it for free online.
Yep. I also played the demo of a game called Terra Nil, which is a Devolver Digital title, and they make good stuff. This game is another sort of resourcey management, but not really. It's a planet after an apocalypse, and you're going in and cleaning it up and like reseeding life on the planet. The demo's really cool, so I've wishlisted it and looking forward to the game itself.
So you're like a janitor cleaning up a mess the humans made once again.
Yeah, basically. Been on a real janitor kick. And
Janitor games, cereal games, they're all the same.
The final game that I have played this week is currently, I believe still, maybe even when this episode goes live, we'll find out, 80% off on Nintendo Switch, Taiko no Tatsujin Drum and Fun, the Switch version of Taiko no Tatsujin.
Wait, hold on a second. There's a new Taiko game coming out soon, and they've marked this one down to 80%?
Yes.
Wow.
How is it without the drums?
Pretty fun. I'm really have been sitting here debating if I'm going to buy the drum or not. Playing it with the Joy-Con itself, terrible. Playing it with the buttons, pretty fun. I've really been enjoying it. And it's just like what deliciously Japanese rhythm game aesthetics, everything's bright and chipper and kawaii.
I like drums, I like fun, I like kawaii things, so Taiko no Tatsujin Drum and Fun sounds like it's right up my alley for 80% off. So how much is it if it's 80%? Is it like $4?
Yeah, like $8 or something like that.
$8? I'm going to go pick that up right after this, I think.
Yeah, it was
on sale.
It was cheap enough that I bought it and then downloaded all of the free music packs that are up for free and then bought a few music packs on top of that.
Oh no, there's DLC?
Well, I mean,
no.
It's a rhythm game in the modern day.
Yeah, but it's Japanese, so you never know.
Some cool songs on it, too. Like some anime crap, like Cruel Angel's Thesis, and the Japanese theme from Dragon Ball Z that I can never remember the name of. But if you've watched DBZ Abridged, it's that song that plays. Flight of the Bumblebee and weird classical music. The Star Wars theme song, Indiana Jones theme song.
Do they have the Psycho Soldier theme song in it? Because that would be awesome.
I don't think so. Gimme Chocolate from Baby Metal.
What? Really?
Yup.
I mean, I guess it is Baby Metal, so that makes sense, but okay.
It's Japanese.
But the new game will have Megalovania.
Some of the things that I've listed there are DLC ones, but in general, very cool list of songs, and I want to play more of it to get exposed. I will say this. While I was playing it, a part of me just was like, I should bust out my PlayStation 2 and just play some DDR.
I would watch you play DDR.
I would die.
Creepily. I would watch you creepily, like I watched those other people. I mean, what?
I want to watch.
So good at DDR.
I want to watch Shay get sweaty on a treadmill.
That's going to happen. That's going to happen. So... Post show.
Cool post show.
Yeah, we were out of time a long time ago. That was the longest episode of Bombers we ever done, I think.
No, remember, we didn't start until
until 15ish, 10 to 15 minutes.
Like 12 minutes in. So that's a pretty long episode. That's like an hour 6, hour 7.
Yeah, and once you trim it down a little bit, it'll be around like an hour 5-ish.
There's not a lot for me to cut from that episode, guys. That was
pretty heavy.
It
was pretty heavy. It is one of the longer ones. That is true.
It's worth it. It was worth it. That was a good episode.
Yeah, we covered a lot of ground too, which can't always say about us just rambling.
My cat was driving me crazy during the last 10 minutes. I had to keep getting up and going over because she was in the sink, eating the food on the dishes.
I did dishes last night because last night I got off work and was like, I'm gonna take a nap, and then I woke up at 3 a.m. I was like, I guess I'm awake now.
Yeah.
Then I did dishes. Cleaned up a little bit around the house. Bought Taiko no Tatsujin and played that. Good times.
Ground Trigger $7.50 on Steam.
Zyber, there is a decent chance that my trip to Japan gets canceled this year for reasons, because they are being very, very conservative at letting people into the country without business visas.
Yeah, Japan's really been...
I didn't know you had a trip plan.
Yeah.
There we
go. I have it booked. It's going to be August 20th through September or something. But if that doesn't happen, there is a festival in Bridgeview, Illinois called Sacred Rose Festival. And they announced quite an interesting lineup this morning, and I might have to go check that out because Krungbin's going to be there, The War on Drugs, Black Pumas, Joe Russo's Almost Dead, STS9, Punch Brothers, Animal Collective, Lettuce, White Denim, the infamous String Dusters. Lots of bands I really kind of want to see.
I recognized none of those.
I'm amazed you recognize that many.
May 27th.
I don't know where Bridgeview is.
I don't know. Bridgeview. Village in Illinois. Oh, that's Chicago.
Okay, well, then yeah, I should totally go then. So
yeah, it's like
we'll see.
2 hours at most for you.
Yeah, and I could just stay with a friend or whatever because I got lots of friends in Chicago. So, all right, I don't know what's the post show.
I mean that is the post show.
Oh, thank you for paying us money for this. The pre-show was really good. We don't need to have a good post show because the pre-show was really good.
Pre-show was really good, and the regular show is really good, and the post show is this.
So I think the IGN thing is going to get really great once we're past the first 4.
Yeah, once we get the chaff cleaned up.
It'll be a lot quicker
really
to get through them.
I'm really cranky about some of the games that even made the list.
Yeah,
like Rise of the Tomb Raider. Like, really? Like, are you kidding me?
Frigging God of War won the whole thing, and
Like,
probably shouldn't have even been on the list to begin with.
Like, it's at the point where I'm just like, maybe you should have done, like, IPs instead of just game.
Let me ask you this: do we know if Miss Pac-Man is on the list?
It is not.
Nope.
Do we know if Breakout is on the list?
It is not.
I feel like you can open the list and look at it at this point.
Well, I don't know where it is. Come on.
It's literally in the Bomber Show document. Oh my goodness.
Oh!
I
There we
can't
go.
click on that.
I finally see some games that have, like, repeats from, the same IP.
Yeah, there's
in
two
this fourth
from
quadrant.
There's 2 from this one particular franchise just in this quadrant alone.
Is Super Mario Brothers 3 on the list?
Yeah, actually.
Yep.
That's another Super Mario game can be on here. Oh,
Is Super Mario RPG on the list?
I have found the winner. I know which game is going to win all of them.
Is
It's in the
Metroid
next
Prime
quadrant.
on the list?
Yeah. No. But yes.
But yeah,
That's another.
I mean,
Okay,
again, I feel like at this point, if you're just going to ask what's on the list or not, just open it and look at it. There's only one quadrant left to go through anyway at this point, so you're not going to spoil it.
No, because this keeps
This
people
is
listening
actually
to
a
the
good
post show.
quadrant, mostly. It's almost all a good quadrant, this next one. So
It's
this
honestly
half, for some reason, it's just a lot better.
Yeah, this is much stronger than the first showing.
Like, I wish they split some of these into the other half.
Because there's a lot of, like, mainstayers over here.
Yeah, they're just like, let's just get rid of all the good ones when that's not even how what everything is supposed to work.
Bracketing?
Whatever the numbers, how they have their
The seeding?
numbers, seedings. Yes, that's not how seeding is supposed to work.
Yeah, they cut it up into 4 distinct 16 seed things. Which, how did they seed what goes into the seeds?
Well, like, when you're seeding, you're not supposed to have the biggest stuff against the biggest stuff and the smallest stuff against the smallest stuff. You're supposed to try to, like, match and kind of do a average.
Wasn't
whatever
Portal
thingy.
2 wasn't Portal 2 a 2 seed or something ridiculous?
Portal 2 was a 1 seed
Number
in its
1.
quadrant.
It's just random then. No one's putting Portal 2 as a 1 seed for the greatest game ever made. I don't care how good you think it is. It's not a 1 seed. Come on.
People,
Let's be realistic here.
I mean, it's basically like Half-Life. People just think Valve games are unstoppable force.
I mean, I'm gonna spoil this, but the 1 seeds for all 4 quadrants were Red Dead Redemption, Portal 2, Super Mario World, and Super Metroid.
I will accept 2 of those.
And they're always against the 16th seed.
And yeah, they were up against the 16th seed. In fact, these aren't even random seeds. I mean, looking at it,
it's always
1 versus
2 against
16, 8
15.
Well,
versus 9,
that's how
5
seeds work. Like in brackets, that's how that works. But my question is, like, how do they decide who got what seed? Like,
and
what,
also
like Super
what was in
Metroid is a
which-
1 seed? That seems a little shaky.
Well, especially considering what else is in that quadrant. That seems crazy.
I would not be surprised if it was just random. I mean, if they did a pot draw and like Rise of the Tomb Raider got a 1 seed, they're probably like, oh, we should probably redo this.
But yeah, this quadrant is really crazy, and I really wish that they split some of these games into other quadrants because it's just getting rid of a bunch of good games instantly.
You got their strong game versus strong game. You're knocking out a strong game in the first round.
All right, guys, I love
Ow.
you. I have to go to a concert.
All right. Time to stop recording. Bye, everyone.
Kisses.
Bye.